Super Dirt Week, racing's biggest party, is all new this year. It's racing, music, camping, and a huge Saturday night finale. See your dirt car racing heroes battle wheel to wheel all week for a chance at glory. Get your tickets at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. The 52nd running of Super Dirt Week, October 7th through the 12th. Be there.
And all right, everybody, welcome in here. It is the Kyle McCord Show. Always glad to have you in here. Yet another edition here as Kyle's getting ready. This is a quick turnaround, getting ready to hop on a plane tomorrow out to Vegas and the game on Friday night. Brian Higgins, Kyle McCord, you guys know that. Get in the chat, get your questions going. We'll get to them throughout our about half hour or so together here today as we get you ready for the first road game of the season. And man, a lot to talk about here, Kyle. You guys took care of business on Saturday. Got a little ragged there in the middle. What's the vibe coming out of a game like that against Holy Cross?
Yeah, I mean they played hard. I think every single team on their schedule is college football. They're going to have some players and they're going to come ready to play. And started fast and then stalled a little bit and then picked it up a little bit after that. But a lot of good, some bad to take away from it. So just, like you said, a short week, just trying to clean it up as fast as possible and get ready to go play on Friday.
And you know you got a good team here coming up on Friday with UNLV. That's got to be one when this game was on the schedule before the year. It's like, okay, who are these guys? What's the deal? They've kind of focused that up for you here in the last month, I imagine. Yeah.
No, I mean, they definitely off to a hot start. Top 25 team. They've beaten two Power 4 teams already. Defense looks really solid on film, so it's definitely going to be a good test for us.
Yeah, looking forward to watching that late night on Friday night. That's a 9 Eastern kick time, 6 out their time. You think that's going to be weird at all? Or you body clock it? You're college kids. That's not that late for a college kid, right? I feel old now. It's we'll be struggling by the postgame show, but that's probably normal awake time for you guys, right?
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. Like you said, I think just given a few days being out there, just try to get used to it. But I think we'll be ready to go, be amped up.
Yeah, it should be fun out in it's the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium, which I'm still getting used to saying now, however many years they've been in Vegas, so that'll be fun at Allegiant Stadium. Guys, get in the chat, get your questions going for Kyle here on the Kyle McCord Show. We'll work them in throughout our time together today. Let's hit a little more on the game last week as people are getting in and joining us here. You know, we've talked about your different weapons over the course of this year, and we talk a lot about Aronde, and then obviously Zede Haynes has a personal situation going on. It's been changed up here a little bit, and boom, Jackson Meeks is like, yeah, throw me the ball. I'm good over here. What was that like to get him the ball over and over again on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, they left him in some one-on-one situations, and he did a really good job of making those 50-50 balls really 90-10. So it made my job easy, just, go up and give him a chance, and more times than not, he made the play. And so, you never know, like some games, just random guys are just going to pop off. But he had a really good week of practice. He's an older guy who's had a lot of experience playing good football. So for him to come up and have 100 catches or 10 catches for 160-something yards and a touchdown was big.
Felt like 100 catches. I mean, he was out there a lot. What was the final? Where's the final? He went I got it here somewhere. 10 catches, 161 on 13 targets. So that's about as efficient as can be. How his Pro Football Focus puts out all their numbers every week. They just I just saw this morning they dropped their highest ranked receivers of the week, and Jackson was number 1 in the country. He was the only guy in the country ranked over 90 on Pro Football Focus. I imagine that tells you exactly what you knew from what you were dealing with on Saturday, right?
That's no news to me. I mean, he played a really good game. He blocked well too, so he's a good player. He's a good player, and I think he was one of the guys that kind of flew under the radar preseason. But he's done a great job up to this point.
I'd say you probably know the deal, right, from Ohio State, and it was kind of the same deal for you for a while. You're sitting on the bench there and waiting your turn. Like Jackson Meeks, he was a special teams guy. He didn't get his chance to do that at Georgia, but he played on a national championship team. That you got to be able to see like that in him, right? That level of confidence and just getting it.
Yeah, I mean, he knows how to win. I mean, he won 2 back-to-back national championships and was on arguably the best team in college football for 3 years. And so just his mindset, bringing that over to our receiver room has been great. He's kind of been one of the big leaders of that room, along with Treb, and so it's been great. It's been great for the room, I think, from a leadership aspect as well as obviously performance-wise.
Does he flash the rings at all? Is he wagging them around, or are they packed away somewhere?
I mean, the one thing he will talk trash about to me is the Georgia-Ohio State game when they beat us in the semifinal. But I was like, I barely played, or I didn't play, and you barely played. So, but I mean, I'll give it to him.
Yeah, you guys were both integral parts of that game that day. Yeah. All right, we got some questions coming in here in the chat as people are loading themselves in here on this Tuesday morning. Let's start with SU Woohoo wants to know, what is your favorite song?
It depends. Pre-game, I'll listen to Drake, or there's a Philly artist called Core. So probably something by them, like Peach Snapple by Core is probably like the pre-game song that I go to. But then if I'm not in that like game mode, I've been kind of on a country kick, to be honest.
Okay.
Morgan Wallen, probably anything by him. Yeah. I'm an open book when it comes to music.
All right. Are you guys like blasting the music in the locker room? Is everyone on their headphones? How are you guys doing that right now?
They'll play music in the locker room, but then guys have their headsets on too. So you kind of get to pick and choose what you listen to before the game.
All right. I know it's not actually an aux anymore because everything's Bluetooth these days. But who's got the aux in the locker room?
I don't know who has it. I think. Like, if a guy wants to hear a song, there's, like, someone's phone's just sitting on top, and they'll go in and just put whatever song they want on.
Okay.
So, I mean, there have been some arguments pregame about what song is playing. But for the most part, I don't get too involved in it. It's whatever they want.
Are you, like, a headphones guy locked in then, or what's your mode there?
Before the game, like, after we come back in the locker room from warm-ups, no headphones, nothing. Like, I'm just sitting in my locker with my head down, just looking at the ground, and that's just kind of how I get in that mode.
Okay. We've seen the pictures of you like that. It looks staged. That's just actually how you're sitting there before the game.
I'll sit like that for like 10, 15 minutes before the game. Just,
okay.
Yeah, a little weird. I'll say a little weird.
Makes it easy to photograph, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. They love it. I mean, I'll just be sitting there, and then I'll look up, and like the social media guys will be getting their pictures in.
All right. So how long have you guys been here? I'm trying to get ready for the game. All right. Yeah. Who else we got from the chat? Here's Armosaurus wants to know, for you in a leadership position of the team, what's your biggest challenge here? Short week, getting ready. What's your biggest challenge getting the guys going this week?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is shutting the door on Holy Cross, which we did a good job of on Sunday. Moving right on, I think obviously going back and watching the film, understanding the areas that we need to get better on, but shutting that door and then quickly moving on and understanding like we don't have as much time as you think. And, even though the game is still, a few days away, like still got to travel. And then, there's, a whole bunch of other things. So the most important thing right now is just to prepare, get your mind and body right to go play. Just have that sense of urgency. Yeah, extremely different schedule than you guys. Obviously, 4 home games in a row and a bye week already in there. Now it's a Friday game plus West Coast day early travel. It's as different a week as you're going to get over the course of this season. You mentioned the word door in there. Jacoby wants to know this. Is Fran going to tape your hotel room's doors closed in Vegas to keep you guys contained? What's the play there? I think that we'll be staying outside of Vegas. I'm not 100% sure, but if I had to guess, we'll probably be staying in like the middle of a desert or something and eliminate distractions. Well, I say Vegas is in the middle of the desert. So if you're 15 minutes outside of Vegas, you quite literally will be. I mean, you'll be in the middle of the desert. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's where we're staying. So we'll see how we'll get a full report from you, because can that be distracting, right? Like if you're at a hotel, like the hotels on the Strip, they're hotels. I mean, they're perfectly good places to stay. But like if you literally look out your windows and you see the lights and all that, would that be distracting, or do you think no? I mean, I think we'll definitely be locked in. I think everybody who's going on that trip knows why we're there. But at the same time, it's like you said, you literally open your window and there's a million things going on, which is unique compared to a lot of the other places that I've played and that we'll play. So I think we'll be locked in, but all that stuff is just, I think, an unnecessary distraction.
Yeah, may not be ideal if the whole team has to walk through like a blackjack pit on the way to pregame meal or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got? This is from Mr. Send It 62. So I don't know if you know this, Kyle, but he wants to know, how does it feel? You have the Syracuse now consecutive games, consecutive 300-yard passing games record. You're the first guy to do it 4 games in a row in the history of the school. How's that sound to you?
It's cool. I mean, especially given some of the great quarterbacks that have played here throughout the years. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily something that I'm thinking about, but if that means if I need to throw 300 yards for us to compete and have a chance to win, then that's what it is. So I think that's just a product of us trying to win and just being competitive.
Yeah, you haven't been particularly close to 300. You've cleared it with ease here in the first 4 weeks. So we'll see if you can get to 5 in a row on Friday night. All right, now Ryan Mullen wants to know this. You've played with a lot of great wide receivers. We talked about the guys on this team. We've talked about Marvin a lot. How much he wants to know about Travis Hunter, who's been one of the stars in college football this season. Have you watched it at all? What's your view on this guy who's literally doing everything on a football field right now?
Like you said, he does everything. He'll go out, he'll catch a hitch and take it 40 yards for a touchdown. Then he'll beat you on a deep ball, and then he'll go on defense and pick you. Like it's crazy. I mean, he's been doing it for a while too. It's not like it's a few like games out of the blue. Like every single game he puts on a show. So he's, in my mind, the best overall player in college football just because he does it on both sides of the ball.
How can he possibly be in that good shape? I mean, he's playing like 100 plays a week. It sounds nuts.
That's like youth football. Like after you score a touchdown, you go run down on kickoff, and then you're on defense. Like I feel like he's never not on the field, which is especially at this level super impressive.
After his pick this last week too, he struck a really nice Heisman post. Like sometimes those get ragged. That was as clean as it could get, right?
I saw that. I mean, early on in the year, calling a shot, I can respect it if you back it up with your play. Usually guys, I remember Caleb did it the year he won.
Okay.
Like the last week of the season, he kind of waited, but doing it in September, I respect it. Trying to call your shot.
Yeah, I'd say that's usually like a November late season thing, but I like it. I like it here. Let people know. I mean, there's no argument the talent. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, get your questions for Kyle in the chat here. We're going to get through as many as we can during the next 15, 20 minutes or so here. Dom, this is an interesting one from Dom down in Carolina. Who do you see on this team that you think will go into coaching when football is done for him? Who do you think of your teammates would make the best coaches going forward? You can answer yourself too if you feel like that's in the cards for you.
I might obviously have to see how my career plays out, but I definitely might. I think Jackson Meeks, I could see him getting into coaching. He's extremely smart, kind of a football junkie.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see him getting into coaching. And then Justin Barron too, another really smart guy on defense, knows how to communicate well. So I could see those two definitely having a career in coaching.
All right. Does anybody, do you think, have the Fran Brown gift of the recruiting of the knows everybody on earth and can connect everyone like that? That's a rare one.
I would probably say Deuce Chestnut.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like Deuce definitely.
Is this like a Camden thing? Like what are they teaching?
I was about to say it definitely feels like a Camden thing. And then again, I'm gonna say Jackson Meeks. Jackson Meeks, I think if you haven't watched any of his interviews, he's a smooth talker, can communicate well, smart kid. So I could see Jackson in 30, 40 years being the head coach of a college football team.
Okay, there we are. I've enjoyed my conversations with Jackson. He's definitely on the ball. Now, he's learned from Fran, learned from Kirby Smart. He's learned from some good dudes already.
Yeah, exactly.
At 22, whatever he is.
Yeah.
Right now. Okay, what else? What else do we got in here? All right, T-Takes wants to know. Did you watch the Georgia-Bama game?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was bonkers.
Yeah, it was wild.
Okay, so I think we all know he's 17 years old now, Ryan Williams on Alabama. That gets mentioned every time he does something, and he's just insanely talented. What'd you think of that play? Because that was, I mean, the whole thing was wild.
I mean, I think even if you made that play in practice, like that would still be a wild play, and then you add in just the situation that it happened in, down one in the biggest game of the year up to this point, against, arguably the best college football team in the past few years. Just putting those years together, and to make that play was ridiculous. And I think that kind of solidified himself as, I don't even know the year, like 2027 is when he'll be eligible.
Yeah, 2027 is when he's going to be draft eligible. I think he'll be 20 by the time of the draft.
Yeah.
I follow some Senior Bowl people on Twitter. They're like, he potentially could be playing in the Senior Bowl as a 19-year-old. I guess his birthday is like late January or something.
I mean, yeah, he solidified himself as a first-round pick at 17 years old, which
it's crazy.
That's a crazy thing to say out loud.
What's the guy? Who's the freshman on Ohio State this year?
Jeremiah Smith.
Okay, I mean, it's possible. Like they're two of the shortlist best receivers in the country.
Yeah,
I mean, Smith is. At least Williams kind of looks like he's 17. Smith looks like he's 30. It's ridiculous.
Looks like he's built in a lab.
Yeah. It's possible like that those two and Travis Hunter, who's a defensive back, could be like the Bolitnikoff finalists this year.
That is crazy. Two true freshmen and then a guy that plays both ways. But that's college football for you, I guess. Yeah.
It's fun to watch. How are these guys ready so young? Is it the 7-on-7? What is it? What makes kids like ready at that age? Because that never used to be the case.
I think the 7-on-7. I think the college camps. I think that when you surround yourself with older kids and you always play up, like that's how I was. Like I would always play a year up, and then my brother, who's 2.5 years older than me, I would always play up with his friends. So when you just play with older kids who are bigger, stronger, faster, like you really have no chance. But to improve your game and improve your skills, and then when you finally grow into your body a little bit, you have those skills and you have that toughness from kind of getting beat up a little bit, but now you're in a body that's able to compete against those kids on the same level. So I think it's a combination of all that, but it is impressive to see kids go straight from high school to Division I college football and make that big of an impact right away.
Yeah, recruit kids that have been maybe had to deal with a slightly older brother.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. That does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, you've been throwing the ball a lot here. You threw it 50 times last game. How's the arm? You feeling fresh? Griffin Bloom wants to know this.
I'm good. I think that the biggest thing, with your arm, I feel like if your arm's ever sore, it just means you're not using your body the right way to throw the ball. So, I've done, I think, a really good job just, throughout my training to make sure that I'm using every part of my body to throw the ball, and then my arm is really just a guide for it. Feel good. 4 games in, ready to go.
Yeah, I'd say people, right, they think a lot of shoulder, a lot of elbow when you're throwing it. It's the lower body, right? Hips, knees, the whole thing. Like you got to have a platform or you're not getting anywhere, right?
Yeah, I mean, everything starts from the ground up. Just creating force by using the ground, and like you said, you're literally using every single part of your body from your feet to your knees and your hips, and then your core has a lot to do with it too, creating tension with your core. And then, like I said, your arm is really just a guide for the ball. If you need to throw sidearm or you just throw regular, you try to get over top on the ball, like your arm is really just a guide for it.
Yeah, we got great questions in the chat today. Keep them coming for Kyle. We got him here up until right around 11:30 today on our weekly Tuesday Kyle McCord show, whenever there is a game later this week. Ryan wants to know this, and the answer, you may change your answer, my guess here, based on your next game. What is the best visiting locker room you have been in so far? Road locker room. You're going to have the Raiders road locker room this week, which will probably be a good one, I'd imagine.
The best one, I would say Notre Dame had a pretty good locker room, especially for a visiting team.
Okay.
Theirs was solid.
How's that Big House locker room? How are they treating you there?
It's good.
All right.
Yeah, that locker room it's solid. It's not like they just give you a stool, and it gets a little tight. But some of the other.
Is Iowa the one they paint pink?
I've never been to Iowa.
Okay, I think it's Iowa. I don't know if they still do that.
Yeah, I've never been to Iowa. I mean, I could tell you some of the worst ones. Like Maryland's away locker room, terrible. Like it's bad. Rutgers away locker room, you have to walk like a quarter mile to get to the field. That's pretty bad. Penn State's was all right. There's a handful of them. Like you walk in there, it's
You can insult anything in State College. We're cool with that. That goes way back here in the Q's. If you want to take down Happy Valley, we're not against that here.
Yeah, there's all right. From what I remember, I've only been there once, but yeah, Maryland sticks out to me as being extremely bad. Yeah.
Okay. So there we are. That's really more interesting. Nice ones, whatever. No, we want to know the dirt on what stinks. That's the good stuff. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see which ones you end up in. Well, 2 of your next 3, go figure, NFL stadiums. You're going to be all right in Vegas, I think. The Pittsburgh situation is they do that real nice for you, so that'll be good. I forget what NC State's vibe is.
Yeah.
Suppose you'll find that out too. That's going to be another late kick, right? Do you like these primetime games? You're going 9, then 8. You're doing some late nights here this year.
Yeah. No, they're fun. I mean, I think that's, like you said, the prime time and everybody's watching. Noon games are fun to get up and get after it, and then you can watch the later games. But, now you are the later game. You know that everybody's watching. So just a little bit of a bigger stage. So I can't complain.
We were just talking about this before we started here, so you can let T-Tex know the answer to this. What is your favorite baseball team, and are you going to be locked in on the playoffs here?
I like the Phillies, so got
to be feeling good.
Yeah, sitting pretty right now. Come close in recent years, so I feel like this could be the year.
Okay, you a big Bryce Harper guy? Who's your guy on the Phillies right now?
I like Bryce Harper. He's an Ohio State guy, so I got to meet him last year. So he's probably my favorite player in the team. Yeah.
Okay, so they've got the bye right here in the first round, so they'll be going. I guess it's this weekend. Man, I can't keep track. Well, we've got the baseball playoffs on all of our ESPN radio stations. For those wondering, here over the month of October coming up, so that starts later today. That was a nuts game yesterday with the Mets and the Braves. Not technically postseason, but it got us going here.
Yeah, Coach Nunn's the quarterback coach is a big Mets fan.
Okay. He must have died 17 deaths yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, so when they went down early, I told him the score, and then they came back.
Were you guys in practice then, or did he see it?
No, we were in meetings, and then when we went out to practice, they were actually losing, I think, in the 8th late.
Okay.
He's like, they blew it. And
so he missed the homer?
Yeah, so the entire time at practice, he's thinking they blew that lead. And then obviously he came back and saw that they won. So took some pressure off of him for that last game.
All right. Was he a little grumpier at practice since he didn't know he can't really be on his phone checking that during practice?
No, I mean, he's always on go. So I wouldn't know if he was grumpy or not. I mean, he's always super, super energetic.
All right, Tampa Ron wants to know this. Of your teammates, who has impressed you the most since you got here? What teammate has impressed you?
I would say Trevor Pena. Obviously, coming here, I knew what Arande could do. I knew what LeQuint could do. But I think Trev was one of those guys that kind of flew under the radar on offense. And to see what he's done in the first 4 games and then just playing with him, he's really impressed me, just his feel for the game. I feel like he's a guy that always knows how to get open versus man and understand where to sit in zone. So he's definitely impressed me. I mean, he was one of the guys, like I said, I didn't know too much about, but super happy that I'm playing with him.
Yeah, been out hurt a lot for the last 2 years, so to see what he's done this year has been truly spectacular. I mean, he's been unbelievable here through the first month of the season. A good one, like you have one touchdown that's like had a bad game, only had one.
Yeah.
Got to get
right.
the end zone more.
That's what I said to him. I said, if you don't score more than twice, is it a bad game for you?
Yeah, what is this? Like, we're used to 3, 1. What? You're slacking.
Yeah.
All right, here's somebody that's been a really long time on their username. It's Any Name Is Good 1. So there's that. It wants to know this. You said this after the Stanford game. You said all of the team's goals are still ahead of you. They want to know this. What are the goals? What do you got? What are the team's goals?
I mean, I think that the biggest thing that we always talk about is winning the conference. I think that's been really the biggest goal since I've gotten here is to go out and win the conference. And I think, like you kind of saw this weekend, it's going to be wide open. It's going to come down to who can be the most consistent team. And with no divisions in the conference, it's just going to be the 2 top teams get a chance to go play for it. And so that's really been the biggest thing for us is, just being consistent and winning games. And, like I said, after Stanford, the, 1 loss doesn't put our future in anybody else's hands. Like, if we do what we want to do and continue to win games, we'll be in control of our own destiny. So that's the biggest thing is that we have complete power of what we want to do. And, we're going to continue to work towards that.
I'd say based on the way that Virginia Tech Miami game ended, who the heck knows what's going to decide this league?
Yeah, exactly.
like that's how thin the margins are, right?
Yeah. No, that game was wild. I was watching that right before I went to bed. And my roommate in the hotel is OG, and he was already sleeping, and I was going crazy. and he woke up like kind of like, what happened?
It's like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell him. I was like, I just look at the TV. Yeah, I don't even think the refs knew what happened, honestly. Yeah, it was just a wild ending.
It's 5 days later. I'm still not entirely certain what happened. It was beyond bonkers, the end of that game. But Miami officially gets the dub and is still undefeated. Okay, Jacoby wants to know this. Outside of football, what's your favorite part of Syracuse? Not the university, but the area. What's now that you've gotten to be around a little bit, what's your favorite part of the area?
The summers out here were fun. Golfing was a lot of fun. And then we would go out on the boat, too, go fishing a little bit. So I'd probably say the summers out here are underrated. It's not too hot, about 75, 80 degrees every day, which is perfect weather. So that would probably be my favorite, golfing and going out on the boat in the summer.
That is praise for the Syracuse weather. Put that on the official record. That is the starting quarterback of Syracuse has praised the weather here. So that
for the summer.
That is a lot.
Summer.
No, we don't need any qualification. No, he's praised the weather.
Yeah.
Period. End of sentence. We don't need any no follow-ups. No follow-up questions. All right. Any name is good wants to know this. All right. So say the top quarterback prospect in the country is coming here for a recruiting visit, and you're their guy. They're staying with you. What's your sales pitch to the next Kyle McCord to come to Syracuse?
I would say just the way the staff is going to believe in you. They're going to do everything they can to develop you and give you a chance to succeed. And then I think you see Coach Nixon's offense, you're going to have a chance to showcase your ability. He's going to throw the ball. He's going to give you a chance to go out and let it rip. And so, you're going to be surrounded by some really good players and some really good coaches, and you're going to have an opportunity to go out and showcase your talent. And I think ultimately, if you want to play at the next level, that's what all the scouts, all the GMs, that's what they want to see. So it's a great opportunity.
Jacoby wants you to know the winters are much better than they were 20 years ago.
Yeah.
There has been less snow recently.
That's what they said. It felt like it snowed every other day out here in the winter.
Yeah, we were walking around a light winter.
Yeah.
Barely anything last year. I don't even know what to do with this one. Armasaurus says a wise man once said, be a goldfish. So be a goldfish.
A goldfish.
I don't know what to do with that.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not sure, but
noted.
Okay, so do that.
All right.
I don't know how. I don't know. I have no further advice of how to do that. I wouldn't get in a plastic bag. That seems a bad idea, but whatever. The story, I want to ask you about this. The story of college football last week obviously involved UNLV with Matt Sluka and this NIL stuff, and I imagine like everyone in sports like looking at that, like what's going on. You've been through NIL and from every different angle, Ohio State and here and all that. How difficult is it to navigate from a quarterback perspective, from the guys that you're getting in from every possible angle?
Yeah, it's tough playing quarterback at this level, especially with NIL now. Like you said, you're getting it from every single angle, and I guarantee like that whole story, nobody outside of the people that were involved like know all the details. But it is wild. It's definitely wild. I mean, for me, getting in the transfer portal, like you want to go to a school that is going to give you the best shot at playing at the next level, and then there's going to be other schools that maybe aren't the best fit but are throwing more money at you. So I think you just have to weigh your pros and cons and know why you're playing. And but it definitely is tough. Like it's a crazy world now in college football.
Yeah, and it changes like every 4 minutes. Like you have no idea what's going on.
Exactly.
Apparently, the goldfish that we've been exposed as non-Ted Lasso watchers. That's what just happened.
Oh, was that a reference?
Apparently, yeah. I've heard it's a great show. I've just not gotten around to it yet.
Yeah.
What else do we got? Ryan wants to know, what part of the plane do you sit in? This is your first road trip with the team. Do you even know? Where's Kyle sitting in the plane?
I don't even know where I'm going to be sitting. I have no idea. So, just as well as I do. I guess we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get I don't know if assigned seats or not. You never know on a plane.
Yeah.
New coaching staff, so I got no idea. Fran, first time head coach. I don't know where he's basing these decisions.
Yeah, we'll see.
Off of. All right, we got time for one more. This is from Tom's Anxiety. We talked about goals before. What do you need to improve as a team to meet those goals over the next 2 months?
I think just our level of consistency. Like when we've been on. Like the offense has been rolling, the defense has been lights out, but then I feel like sometimes we've taken 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And so I think just eliminating the plays that hurt us in offense and likewise on defense and just playing complementary football and, just consistency. I think that's the biggest thing. If we can be a consistent football team, I think that we'll be able to do everything that we want.
All right. Well, better 2 forward and 1 back than 1 forward and 2 back.
That is true.
Net positive. You'll take that. You're still moving the ball down the field. All right, everybody. There we are. That's the Kyle McCord Show this week. Tomorrow he's on the plane. Friday night we'll all be watching Cuse and UNLV Vegas at 9 o'clock. All of our normal pre- and post-game coverage right here, of course, on CuseSportsTalk.com. So for Kyle, I'm Brian. Enjoy the week, everybody.
Yep.